Good afternoon. My name is Saki Takakuwa. I'd like to begin my talk today. In your life up till now, what kind of obstacles have you encountered? And how did you feel about these hardships? In my short 20 years of life, I've had to deal with many challenges. They are painful experiences. However, rather than simply feeling miserable about facing those obstacles, I felt like there's more that I could do. For example, life-threatening illness, conflicts experienced in our teenage years, disadvantages from my disability, and grueling training for the track and field team. These were all difficult and painful experiences. But without any of the negative emotions that come with it, I won't be standing here today. I think there's a reason for everything, and everything that happens is a spice that enriches our life. And I'm here now thanks to my experiences over the past 20 years. And the biggest turning point in my life is having my left leg amputated below the knee because of an illness. This definitely goes under the category of extremely bad experience. So I think the experiences can be divided into good or bad, and my getting my leg amputated was definitely a bad experience. It was definitely a painful thing to go through. And I went through a year of anti-cancer drug treatments. And even after I returned to school, I still had to stay in a hospital once a month for a week. And when I started junior high, I was admitted to the hospital right away and could only come back in the second semester. Even then, I had to walk on crutches because of my prosthetic limb and wear a hat because my hair had fallen off. In addition, I had a mask on to protect myself against any infectious diseases. So I'm sure my complete change of looks confused my schoolmates. So we're sensitive and emotional at that age. So needless to say, I did not fit in my school. So I simply had to grit and bear with all the painful experiences every day. And even now, some of my old teachers still come to me and say, it must have been a trying time for you back then. But I always reply, it was those experiences that led me to where I am today. Now, you may wonder why that is. I, I only have unhappy memories of my junior high school days. In fact, thinking about it is enough to make me want to cry again. But I still learned something from that experience. And that is, believe in the future and live hard. That's the spice of life. It was a hard-earned lesson, but the challenges I encountered when I was young was by no means pointless. So the surgery to amputate my left leg from below the knee and my junior high school life is what shaped me to be the person I am today. The second turning point was starting track and field in high school. First, I think if I did not have this prosthetic leg, I would probably never have thought to start track and field. And if I hadn't started track and field, I would not probably have felt any passion for anything. So I felt that my decision to use a prosthetic limb was the right one. The spice of having my leg amputated led me to my beloved sport, track and field. But when I joined the team in high school, I had to train with able-bodied students. So it was very challenging and the training was very, very difficult. But I made wonderful friends. We encouraged each other and grew together as a result. I grew too, and so did my friends. And because of that, in my 3 years in high school, I managed to join 2 international sports meets. I was completely immersed in the world of track and field in high school. Eventually, I set my sights on the world stage of Paralympics and devoted myself to the sport in university. Training with the able-bodied students in the university's track and field team was a huge decision for someone with a prosthetic leg like me. So I trained in this great facility with amazing athletes, and it was a wonderful environment for training. But the speed and the strength expected of me is much higher than the high school standard. And the reason why I joined this team was because I really wanted to train with the able-bodied athletes. My track and field experience in high school became a spice and made me want to become a better sprinter. As a result, I was able to achieve my goal of appearing in the Paralympics in my second year. I've talked for a bit now, but how many of you realize that I'm wearing a prosthetic leg? I walked up to the stage normally and I'm standing here in front of you. I think some of you may even wonder what my handicap is and do not realize that I'm wearing an artificial leg. So now I'd like to show you my prosthetic leg. So this is what I normally use. I thought I'll be taking off my prosthetic leg in front of you here today. And as you can see here, there is nothing below my left knee. When I run, I use a special prosthetic leg for running. So this is, if you've been to if you're an SFC student, I'm sure you've seen it, but this is designed by Professor Shunji Yamanaka from this university. There are many different types of prosthetic legs, and this is the one I use. I think if this helps you understand more about my prosthetic leg and how I compete with it. And this is who I am now, and this is how I overcame my obstacles. In my short life, I've gone through painful and difficult experiences, and even life and death situations. So these are all negative experiences, but every single one of them serve as a lesson to help me grow. So I believe that it's a lesson that can help me grow. The spices used in cooking, they're not delicious if you just taste it. In fact, they taste bitter, spicy, and sometimes just simply terrible. But when you mix it with other spices and ingredients, the rich flavor comes out. I think the same applies to the challenges in life. Think of the challenges in life as spices. And if you mix it with different experiences, you get different depths and flavors out of it, and all these add up to create me. However, it depends on an individual to think of the challenges in life as difficult or to consider it as a spice of life. In my case, I had had to fight hard to even continue living. So while I'm still alive, I want to enjoy myself and create good memories. In order to do that, no matter how impossible it may seem, I'll use any obstacles that come my way to spice up my life. Thank you very much for listening.